When I first started my journey to becoming a certified Pilates instructor, I had many questions. What program should I choose? How much money and time will I need to invest? What comprises a legit certification? What are the opportunities for teaching after I complete said certification? Between all the different certifications, apparatus options, pricing, the PMA, it's a lot. Some programs are super vague about their requirements. Others only certify you to teach at their own studio. It's not easily transferable. And others require hundreds of hours of teaching before you actually test out. Today, I'm breaking it all down so you can move forward with clarity and feel more confident as you embark on this journey. Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amira. I'm a certified Pilates instructor, and this is part 1 of my 5-part Pilates Teacher Training Series, where we'll be walking through the full process of becoming certified as a Pilates instructor and giving you some lessons I learned along the way. So we're covering everything from choosing the right program, staying organized during your training, how to avoid burnout while training, prepping for test out, and stepping into your first teaching role. Whether you're just starting your research or you're already deep in your decision-making process, this video will help cut through the noise and hopefully help you make an aligned, informed choice. All right, so we're just gonna get right into it. The first thing I wanna talk about, what I urge you to do, is starting with your vision and your purpose. Before we even get into the logistics, I want you to ask yourself, why do I wanna teach Pilates? What got me interested in doing Pilates in the first place? For me, I've talked about this on my channel before, but I started doing Pilates, started my Pilates journey at one of those larger corporate-owned franchise studios. And one of the instructors came up to me after class and just kind of asked, like, oh, are you a dancer? You have really good form. You should consider Pilates teacher training. And at the time, I didn't really take her too seriously. I was like, she's probably just, gassing me up, complimenting me. I appreciate it. But as I started to mull it over, I took the recommendation a lot more seriously, particularly as I progressed in my Pilates practice, my personal Pilates practice, and I ultimately decided to pursue teacher training. Also, it's helpful to ask yourself, what do I hope to gain from the Pilates teacher training experience? Do I want to work in a studio? Do I want to build a personal brand? Like a lot of instructors are building their brands on social media. Do I want to do teaching online? Do I want to work in a studio perhaps part-time, picking up a couple shifts here and there around my 9-to-5 schedule? Do I want to work full-time as an instructor? Am I passionate about teaching the classical method of Pilates that preserves the original work of Joseph Pilates? Maybe or maybe not with slight adaptations to the original work, or am I more into the more athletic Pilates inspired hybrid fitness based programs? Essentially, knowing why you're pursuing this will help you choose a program that's more aligned with your goals rather than something that just looks like it could be cute. The next thing I'd recommend is understanding the types of programs that these organizations offer, namely what comprises the program, right? So is it a mat program, maybe a mat reformer, or is it a comprehensive program that includes all the apparatus? So comprehensive programs typically include mat, reformer, one-to-chair, Cadillac, ladder barrel, spine corrector. Mine included a pedipole. There is a lot for sure. Some programs just do mat only. Mat programs are good for lower cost and flexibility because you literally just need your body and a mat, maybe some props, but sometimes it might limit where you teach. So consider, do you want the option to teach everywhere, or is your goal to teach mat-based sessions only, or maybe virtual sessions? Mat is honestly so underrated. It's hard as hell. It's one of my favorite types of Pilates. So you can do quite a bit with just a mat certification, just depends on where you want to teach. Also, figuring out if you have the space, the flexibility, the time for in-person or online or hybrid teaching. In-person is obviously ideal for that hands-on feedback and review of the actual repertoire. Hybrid has become increasingly common, with programs preferring students to watch pre-recorded online lectures and then come in person for the review of the repertoire. Online only, I think, is very rare and not really offered or even accepted by reputable studios. You really have to have a hands-on review of the repertoire, right? It's good to have a master instructor come in and review the exercises, right? Demonstrating the exercises, the cueing, the modifications, variations in real time, giving you hands-on feedback as you demonstrate the exercises that you're learning. So really the best way to do that efficiently is indeed in person. Also, kind of understanding the context when it comes to accreditation and those industry bodies, namely the PMA/NPCP. This governing bodies set some standards for the Pilates industry, as it is kind of largely an unregulated industry. The PMA attempts to kind of set regulation and standards for what a good training program should be. And also you can become a member. So there's student member, teacher member, and also a corporate member. So a lot of programs will actually pay money to be a part of this governing body. So not to say that that accreditation and that stamp of approval from the PMA is not valid. There is a certain set of criteria. Not every excellent program is PMA affiliated if they don't pay money to become part of the PMA. So in my opinion, I would strongly recommend always vet programs by looking at their curriculum, their faculty, their testimonies, what the outcomes are for the instructors that underwent that training, and if there are any opportunities for continuing education. Of course, research. So start with a good old Google research, but don't stop there. Don't be afraid to just ask like specific questions and see if perhaps someone has already asked those questions. It's likely that they already have. When I was conducting my research, I would literally put like my question in and then type in Reddit, because Reddit has a really good active Pilates forum where people can kind of give you real-time advice. And I often found that my question that I asked, if I just put the name Reddit after, I will have a whole bunch of threads pop up where someone has asked that exact same question or something similar. Also, you can look at reviews, and don't be afraid to use social media. DM instructors on Instagram who've undergone a training that you're interested in, or even better, since you're probably already taking classes at some of these studios, just go up to your instructor after class and get to know a little bit about them, their thoughts on their particular program or just programs in general. Maybe take them out for a coffee and pick their brain a little. Here are some key things to clarify before committing to a program. What's the total cost of the program? Okay, money. Are there any hidden fees? Is there a test out fee, which there usually is? Are there extra fees for the materials for the program? Any other books that people recommend that might cost a little bit extra? How far away you live from the testing location? For me, I live in Florida, so I had the extra cost of flying to California and do, all the airfare and the hotel fees associated with testing out. For you, maybe you live down the street from that studio. Also, how many hours of teaching, observation, and self-practice are required to complete the training? Is there support post-certification for job placement and mentorship? What opportunities are there for continuing education? Is continuing education open for everyone to just kind of do an open audit of the courses, or are you only able to do audit of courses if you've completed that specific training prior? And then just a little real talk transparency about time and cost, right? Most comprehensive programs cost around $4,000 to $7,000 depending on the program, and also depending on the location and the depth, the scope of the program. My actual program cost, I believe, was around $4 something, almost $5. And then of course we have those additional costs that kicked it over that $5,000 range. Expect to spend several months, if not a year or perhaps more, completing your hours, especially if you're juggling other time commitments. But also rest assured that you don't necessarily need any Pilates experience prior for a lot of these programs, but familiarity with the method helps. Of course, you can keep track of your research by just doing maybe good old pen and paper, or perhaps opening up a Google Doc. But if you do want a centralized place to track your research, compare programs side by side, and keep track of your notes as you explore, well, that's exactly why I included a find a program research and comparison tool in my new Pilates Teacher Training Hub called Train and Thrive. It's a 11-page suite of Notion templates that I created and curated based on my experience going through training and as an instructor. Of course, it's not the only way to stay organized, but it's something that I wish I had as a Notion girly myself when I was getting started with the process. It has some resources that can help you get started with your search, as well as a database that can help you compare the programs you're interested in and then narrow down your search and easily map out your next steps forward. So if you're interested, check it out. The links will be down below. I know this process can feel a little bit overwhelming in terms of where exactly to start, but I hope this video helped you feel a little bit more grounded in your decision making and where you start and what to look out for. Let me know in the comments down below, are you just starting your training, or are you currently in the process of researching programs? What's been your biggest challenge so far? And this video is just the beginning. Like I said, I'm doing a 5-part series on the journey to becoming a Pilates instructor and just sharing those lessons that I learned. Now, if you're wondering how to stay organized once you do choose a program, what to track, how to balance hours, what tools I use that I found helpful, then you'll definitely want to tune in for the next video after this one. If that one's already live, it'll pop up right here on the screen. But if not, be sure to subscribe and turn your notification notification bell on so you can get notifications when it drops. In the meantime, if you want to get a head start on organizing your training, you can check out the Train and Thrive Companion Hub. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon, and don't forget to stay mindful. Bye.